Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match, roulette, and Teddy's favorite, co-raps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. All right, let's take a look at the keys to victory for OU's offense versus Alabama's defense. And Ted, Alabama does some things defensively that really no other team that OU has played does.
Yeah.
And one of the keys is you got to find number 42. Pierre has emerged as he's really come along, man. He's turned into a really, really good player for them on the edge. But as you can see, they do some unique things with him. He'll be lined up at defensive end in an even down four-man front. He'll be lined up kind of as an outside linebacker type body in their odd spacing stuff. And then they will float him in the middle of the defense like they're doing right here. So whether it's run game, pass protection, you got to find 42. And a lot of the time, he tells the story of what they want to accomplish on that snap defensively. And people may recognize this play. We took a look at this play on the In the Weeds we did for the Tennessee game. I continue to believe one of the best ways for OU to run the football against a team like Alabama is to spread them out and to just run it into light boxes. You got to identify where those guys are, but you see it. It's 2nd and 12. Very good, Ted. And you're getting a 6-man, 5.5-man type box here. And this is a simple zone read play that goes for a 44-yard touchdown for Tennessee. So I continue to believe spread them out, create space naturally, and what a move by Deshaun
That's
Bishop.
a great cut. I mean, Alabama's holding on right now. It's 2nd 12. They got a big lead. They're thinking this is pass all day long, and they got them in a bad front for this play. It's a great play call. And then with that space, whoop.
But you can see some of the chaos, good and bad, for Alabama that what they do with 42, what they do with Pierre can create. Mm-hmm. Like he's floating in the middle of that defense here, and it doesn't look exactly gap sound up front. No. You know what I mean?
Right. And they got small players out on the edge trying to set the edge against an offensive tackle. That's going to be tough.
And a lot of open space there, bud.
Yep.
What do we think of the sprint? What do we think of the running technique?
He never really got fully open, but it looks pretty good to me.
We're going to make another guy miss.
Nice cutback.
I know a lot of people that watch this have already seen this, but the key to victory is find 42. And the communication, where is he? What are our run combinations looking like in the run game with where he's located? Where are we working to in the run game? What backer in addition to 42? He rarely is going to be floating in that spot and stay there.
Yeah.
A lot of time he's going to be wrapping to the other side or wrapping to the outside. They do some really interesting things. Communication is going to be key. Find 42 and make sure everyone realizes, hey, that's their best pass rusher. We should probably account for him. You know?
Yeah.
It sounds simple, but touchdown Tennessee.
And I like it, down in distance and situation in the game, as long as, you're able to check it outside run, it probably not a bad idea.
Just want to revisit our buddies here. They're back.
Double birds.
Still think it's a really odd way to celebrate your team scoring a touchdown, but the enthusiasm cannot be questioned.
Love it.
Those guys are into it. There's no doubt about it. There is zero doubt about it. They're feeling it. All right, on to the next play. Next key to victory. I You got to make their tackles tackle in the run game. You got to make their corners. Did I say tackles?
Yes.
That doesn't make sense. You got to make their corners tackle in the run game. And when you look at Bray Hubbard he's a fantastic football player. The guy's a turnover machine. He's a safety, but also a linebacker for him. He does so many things. But in this clip, like they insert him sometimes in some of these formations where you would see a corner because they don't want their corner there having to make tackles. So you're looking, this is Damani Jackson, who has since been benched, but that's a corner back there at the safety spot, and they've got Hubbard here instead. Now, we'll get to a couple clips where the corner's in the fit and the guy doesn't exactly show up ready to roll. But this is also a formation I like for OU to run the ball out of in this game. This is that 4-by-0 formation.
Yep.
I like QB run game to the boundary. We saw John Mateer. He's willing to run it and put it on the line. We saw him do it at Tennessee. He's going to have to do some of that in this game. So this is just that split zone bluff play that we've had some nice success with so far this season, Ted. Right?
I like that little dip of the shoulder there by the tight end too, to make it look like he's coming in. Both guys crash on the inside. Really nice. Then turns and gets a real good seal block.
But I think you can run some GY counter to the boundary out of this formation. You're not blocking this backside backer, but you're double teaming that deuce block between your right guard and your right tackle. That's working to this guy that's in the middle of this 4-3 structure. And then your second puller is working around. And we've talked about the tight ends, getting them on linebacker and safety type bodies. You can't ask for much better than your tight end on a safety in the run game.
Yep. I
agree.
That's
I think the Sooners can make some money in this 4-by-0 formation, and Mateer is going to have to make some things happen in the run game. But the key to victory is make their corners tackle. I mean, that Damani Jackson not exactly coming to play ball from that safety position. Maybe the recognition not tremendous either, but Prabula, see what I mean? That ain't it. That's probably why he's been benched. But make the corners tackle.
Whew. I don't even know what to say about that.
I assume that one was not very fun to go over in the film room.
Hey, man, there's a difference between coming from depth and you got a running back that's full speed right at you. Hey, you're going to have to sacrifice for the team. But this on an angle tackle on the sideline, just go push the guy out of bounds. Do something. That's whew.
I'm not the body language doctor, but not the best body language I've seen either.
No.
Let's continue the theme. So I'd like, hey, make their corners tackle. And I just showed you that 4-by-0 formation. I think there's some money to be made. This is something I haven't said maybe at all this season. I think the Oklahoma Sooners can do some damage in 12 personnel in this game.
Oh,
yeah, you heard me.
Okay.
This is a formation that Alabama has struggled with. The tight end pair in 12 personnel. This is something that they have not played particularly well, and it goes back to what we just talked about. Make the corners tackle. Make the corners tackle in the run game. And Georgia ripped off 3 big runs. This exact play, this exact formation in this game. LSU ripped off a big run on this play. This is just 12 personnel split zone. And you look at it, now they're down in distance, 2nd and 12. Bama's in their 6-up look. It goes back to the Ole Miss game. Hey, I don't hate running it into 6-up when you got all those guys right up at the line of scrimmage. You can
Right.
get your hands on them quickly. But it's not complicated, man. We're creased. We're taking guys now. They're bringing that nickel pressure at the top of the screen, Ted. We're taking guys that are slanting farther than they want to go, washing them by, and we're creased, and the ball is on the corner again. Make the corner tackle.
Mm.
It's nothing complicated, man. They're
Again,
not.
this second 12, they keep calling these defenses where you see all the guys bailing out. They had that 6-up, and on the snap, they're dropping back really soft against the run.
Look at this. You got linemen getting up to the second level. 18 getting lost in the trash because I'm assuming he's taking that tight end coming back against the formation. I'm guessing he's got a man, Ted. You see how he works back across?
Yeah.
It just, that corner's got to close that space and recognize it quicker.
Yep.
That's been an issue for them. And it's the same guy. Once again, he's been benched.
Yep. He drops out and goes to the middle of the field, loses leverage on it. Look at all these guys in here. That's where you want the ball to go back to. You can't let it get outside of you.
And we are still running for Georgia. 12 personnel, that tight end pair, a simple 12 personnel split zone has given them headaches. I think this is the first time I've come on here this season and gone, we need to get in 12 and run it at them.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams have had a lot of success. Now the tight ends, Caden Helms is going to be key, right? You're probably going to have Caden Helms be that point of attack guy, not the split zone guy. That's probably more of a Carson Kent or a Jaron Kanik role. But 12 personnel, get the corner in the fit, make him tackle.
Yep. You could do it crack replace too. If you want to do it out of 11, you can bring a receiver in to crack and try and create that same type of situation.
No doubt about it. All right, let's look at 3 more plays from Alabama's defense. But first,
steaks are back. Didi Ranch's luxury steak cuts are restocked and ready to ship straight to your door. From mouth-watering ribeyes to silky smooth fillets, this is the best beef Oklahoma has to offer. And here's the kicker. They're now shipping next day air for free when you use code SOONER at checkout. That's right. Next day air like Amazon Prime, but for steak. Didi Ranch delivers taste and tradition the luxurious way. Order today at DiddyRanch.com and get your steaks just in time for the holidays.
Getting thirsty breaking down this film? Are you tired of boring water? Are your electrolyte packets too salty or full of sugar? We've all been there. That's why we'd like to introduce y'all to Trevi. Trevi is Oklahoma's hydration company that's full of flavor and electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout the day. Whether you're tackling a wide receiver, that lingering house project, or your daily workout, you need to be hydrated. With Trevi's flavor-filled formula, you don't have to sacrifice taste for functional performance, and Trevi is giving In the Weeds viewers a 20% discount on y'all's first order when you use the code GameDayHydration at drinktrevi.com. Trevi Hydration, a fountain of flavor. Shaner and Franklin's attorneys know a thing or two about drilling, whether it's drilling running backs on the field or drilling wells in the patch. As former collegiate athletes, Shaner and Franklin bring the same discipline and grit to oil and gas law. The Franklin in Shaner and Franklin is Daniel Franklin, my teammate for 4 years at OU. D. Frank's an awesome dude, super smart. From title work to transactions, they hit hard, play smart, and don't quit until the job's done. So when the deal gets tangled in the weeds, trust Shaner and Franklin to do whatever it takes to get you in the end zone. Contact Shaner and Franklin for all of your oil and gas legal needs. All right, looking at a couple more plays from Alabama's defense, continuing these keys to victory for OU's offense. I think this guy's going to be a tremendous player, Ted, but you have to attack Dijon Lee. He's 6'4", 202 as a freshman.
Woo!
The guy is a mutant. I think he's going to be an absolute stud for them. But he has stepped in for Damani Jackson ever since he's been benched. And he, like I said, he's going to be a really good player. But they're playing a true freshman corner. And one of the things that I have noticed from him, he's a tall guy. Now he runs extremely well, he moves extremely well, but he has some trouble sinking his hips and driving on some of the comeback route stuff. And you can see it from the teams have been able to create a little space against him with those routes. You'll throwing the goal line fade against this guy is not the move. That's
No.
not. LSU tried to do that to Trey Des Green, and he said, get it out of here." But the comeback routes, like the people threatening him with speed and then shutting it down, whether they're working outside to the sideline or back inside, kind of into the middle of the field, that has given him some trouble because he's a tall guy, and you see South Carolina is just running kind of a version of sprint pass here,
Yep.
and you see him shut it down. Look at all that space.
Yep. And a big guy, he probably has tremendous straight line speed. So he's going to give something up. If you have that type of size, you're going to give up some quickness. So he's going to defend against the double move stuff a lot. Like he's going to give a really big cushion because he's worried about the double move. And you're right. It's going to take him just a little bit longer to react to the short stuff, pick him apart.
But Tennessee had some success going after him at a couple of those types of routes from Aguilar. I think it was Matthews, number 4, just kind of running that deep comeback in front of him and creating space because just a big guy. He doesn't want to get run by. And I have seen teams be able to throw some of that comeback type stuff in front of him.
Yep. And then after you do it a couple of times, that's whenever you do the double move stuff because, as a big body guy, whenever you shut it down, it's really hard to open it back up. So yeah, I agree. That's a good look.
So that's just this. So, and I think Matier's been really good on sprint pass, especially to his right.
Yep.
I mean, one of the best throws of the year. He threw that comeback to Burks, like one of the best timing throws of the season. Like that type of route, or just straight drop back game with comebacks on the outside, whether you're working towards the sideline or kind of back towards the numbers, coming back to the ball. I think that stuff can give Lee some trouble. And I think that's something that this offense needs to attack, especially think that getting Matier on the move, he's clearly more comfortable out of the pocket and playing out in space a little bit. And I think you can get to some of that stuff against Lee where Matier's going to feel in rhythm on the move, making those throws.
I like it.
All right, on to the next play. If this has not been like a lockdown secondary for Alabama, this is a group that I think and they're going to throw a variety of pressure looks at you. 5 up, 6 up, 7 up. Professional courtesy. There is zero doubt in my mind. They're going to run 6 up with double mug linebackers and try to pick Jake Michaela at center because we have not been able to handle that properly. That is going to come in this game. They're going to do all kinds of different things with Pierre, number 42. They're going to twist him. They're going to line him up in that floater position. They're going to make you communicate and pass off a bunch of movement. Mm-hmm. They want to create confusion, and that's going to be difficult. Like, it's going to be difficult. The communication is going to be tough with the crowd noise. But we saw the Sooners' offensive line and backs handle it pretty dang well in Knoxville. And it's hard to imagine it's going to be a little louder than that in Tuscaloosa. At some point, not being able to hear is just not being able to hear,
There's a point of diminishing return on how loud it is.
But if you pick up the pressure and you see, hey, they're just running some twist games here. Just running a simple little inside twist. Now you got 41 coming out of it to cover the back, Ted, but it's not the cleanest I've ever seen. But Joey Aguilar's got time, and there are plays to be made down the field, especially in the middle of the field. That is an area of the field that now we've not seen Matier really attack that the way that he did early in the season post-injury, but it'd be a really good week for him to start getting back to that because I think that if you pick up the pressure, this is not a secondary that has just been able to play man coverage across the board and completely shut teams down.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I don't know what's going on here coverage wise. Um, it's pretty strange, but you can see the middle safety. He's expecting someone to be a little bit tighter than him. He loses his feet as he's trying to come make a play on that. No help in the middle of the field. The defender, if it's true man, is just leverage is totally beat, running away from leverage, and safety is in a bad spot there. And yeah, plenty of room, plenty of holes there.
Protection's got to be good. Mateer's got to be willing. He's got to be comfortable and confident to attack the middle of the field. Whether it's Burks, Satania, would be awfully nice for Canick to get back to doing some of that. But that's an area of the field, these in-breaking routes, where teams have been able to find some success there. So you got to handle the pressure though, and that all starts with communication between the offensive line, the running backs, and John Mateer.
Yep, and I'm with you. I feel like we've gotten better there. I mean, it's not perfect. There's been problems, but I think Tennessee was a good gauge of where we are right now, and just pick those guys up and let Mateer pick you apart, man.
All right, let's look at one more play. I can't believe I'm going to say it again, Ted.
Uh-oh.
Let's get to a little 12 personnel. And here's
Ooh.
why. We've got, and this applies a lot to 12 personnel condensed formations. Look at all the bodies close to the line of scrimmage. When teams have gotten into 12 in condensed formations, there's just all kinds of guys close to the football. So get in 12, get in some condensed formations and throw that thing down the field.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. And that is not something that we've done a ton of. Now we've got to some of the sprint pass stuff out of 12 where we've moved the pocket with Mateer and Carson Kent or Caden Helms is kind of there securing that edge, protecting him. And some of that stuff has looked good the last couple of weeks. But with the way that they gravitate towards the line of scrimmage, when you get into 12, I would like to see us get into some of it and try to push the ball down the field and create some explosives. Because if you can get Burks and Satania, one of those guys one-on-one, like those guys have to go win. I don't think it's overly complicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that there's opportunity for that, especially if we can get the run game going and hit them with some play action pass.
That is exactly what LSU does. Look at all the guys close to the line of scrimmage on the play action fake. That's a lot of bodies. And LSU's running really a two-man route. They're getting the back out into the flat late, but they're running a two-man route, and that man is open. That's why I think 12 personnel, condensed formations, draw them into the line of scrimmage. And I know that we don't have this type of play action game in our offense, really. We don't get under center and run play action. Look at what happens when you do. It's the easiest thing in the world. Look at all the bodies close to the football and the natural space it creates in the passing game. But I think that especially if we can run it well out of that tight end 12 personnel pair, if we can get into some condensed stuff in 12, just create some natural space in the back end of that defense and run some simple two-man routes and try to get our best players in good situations and get them the football.
No, I like it. And I mean, just a simple route concept right here. It's a clear out. We got a flat player that he's messed up from the very beginning. He's lined up wrong. Then he gets out way ahead. You got a tight, this is it. Nasty alignment, tight split. Your flat drop should be right here on an angle just inside this guy. You don't have any work to the flat yet. He's not releasing right now. You don't need to get all the way out here and wait on the guy. You just keep leverage with him, and he goes flying out of there. So the route that comes across, he can't have any effect on it. He's outside of where he needs to be. He should be just outside of this guy, right back here underneath number 1, deep to short.
There's nothing that bothers you more than poor linebacker pass drops.
And the formation tells you exactly where you need to be. That's the thing. You got to recognize the finished formation. But he lines up wide. So on the play action, like this is his gap right here. He's got that gap is all the way inside. So on play action, he comes shuffling in here. If you were aligned properly at that spot, you don't need to. One step and then you're gone. Shouldn't even be one step, honestly. It's pass all the way with the O-line.
One thing I would like to not see us do is what LSU does here. Don't try to block this guy in pass protection with our tight ends. Even though Helms, he's getting better, man. He's starting to do some really good things, especially in the run game. The guy's a really good pass rusher, and he's getting better and better, and you can see the confidence growing for Pierre. Like, and you see this one. He beats both tight ends here. I mean, look at this. See ya. I mean, he's going to hit Garrett Nussmeier. I know you look at it on a piece of paper and you go, hey, 2-on-1, we're good. Put offensive tackles on that guy. Fasusi, Foj need to be blocking 42. Not 18 and 86. Okay?
And you get those guys out in the route to affect those underneath droppers.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to keep the tight ends like condensed formation in 12. Like, let him go affect the defense, and you know you're trying to get the ball to Satania or Burks. Like, that can be the mentality. They don't have to stay in and pass block.
Yep.
That has not been a strength of ours. But I think the space that getting in 12 and bringing all those bodies close to the line of scrimmage, I think that's worth taking a look at and seeing if you can create some bigger plays down the field, that has just not been a big part of what we've done offensively.
No, I agree with you 100%.
Oh, he got out of it. Nice. Little extra yak. It's always good. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. If you're not, what are we doing? Just help us out. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. You don't start getting spam emails or anything like that. It's free. It helps us out. Please subscribe to the channel. Also, like these videos. We're told that helps us as well. And if you really like them, you can click those 3 dots down there and give us a super thanks. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.